Carlos Alcaraz is cooking up some serious changes for the Australian Open, and let me tell you, this young beast from Murcia is pulling out a trick straight from the Wizard's handbook. Buckle up folks, because Carlitos has transformed his serve from a soft slap to a goddamn missile launcher, and the tennis world better take note. Gone are the days when his serve was the Achilles heel that opponents exploited mercilessly. Thanks to some mad scientist-level tweaking from his team, it's now a weapon of mass destruction. Let me break it down for you. First off, the dude's serve isn't just better, it's a whole new monster. Back in the day, his first serve was a bit shaky, and the second? Well, let's just say it had more holes than Swiss cheese.
But now?
That second serve has evolved into an aggressive beast that can slap opponents back into last week. Word on the street is that Ferrero and the coaching crew went full-on Sherlock Holmes with this. They analyzed everything: speed, placement, percentages, you name it. By the 2024 clay court season, the transformation was crystal clear. Carlitos was dishing out serves so damn effective they'd leave his rivals scratching their heads like they just got hit by a tennis tornado. And the cherry on top? This whole revamp isn't just about winning points, it's about keeping Carlitos' body intact. That new fluid motion? It's smoother than a 90s R&B track and way easier on his shoulder. Injuries?
Not today.
With this new serve, he's playing with the confidence of a guy who knows he's got an ace up his sleeve, pun intended.
Pressure moments? Bring 'em on.
Carlitos knows his serve can bail him out of sticky situations faster than a Formula One pit crew. Now, Ferrero, the mastermind behind this evolution, isn't one to rest on his laurels. There's always room to improve, he says, and damn, does he mean it. Even when something seems perfect, this guy's out there fine-tuning like a madman obsessed with building a tennis Terminator. And let's be real, this dedication isn't just making Alcaraz one of the top players of his generation, it's setting him up to dominate the sport for years to come. But hold up, let's rewind to where this all started. Around 2021, Carlitos had a swing that took longer than waiting for a Windows update. Then came the first tweak, 2 pauses in his motion. Next, they cut it down to 1. Now, no pauses at all.
The result?
A dynamic, fluid motion that's all about power and consistency. And for his upcoming Australian tour in 2025, they've taken it up another notch. During pre-season, Carlitos was spotted experimenting with different rackets like he was auditioning for a role in a tennis version of Iron Man. Lighter here, heavier there. His team left no stone unturned. According to Marca, the final tweak? A modest-sounding 5 grams added to the neck of his racket. Sounds tiny, right? Wrong. In pro tennis, 5 grams is like handing Thor a slightly heavier hammer. That little adjustment has turned his racket, already one of the lightest on tour at 308 grams, into a precision instrument of destruction. So, here's the deal. If you thought Carlitos was a problem before, get ready to see him become an absolute nightmare for his rivals. With his revamped serve, killer instinct, and that unstoppable drive to improve, the Australian Open is shaping up to be his stage for tennis domination. Watch out, world, Murcia's golden boy isn't just coming for a grand slam. He's coming to rewrite history, one serve at a time. We're talking about one hell of a racket here, light as a feather but packing some serious potential. Our boy Carlitos, the Murcian maestro, knows exactly what he needs to wreak havoc on the court, a super flexible stick that lets him pull off all kinds of crazy-ass shots. Unlike most of the hefty gear you see swinging around on the pro circuit, Alcaraz rocks one of the lightest rackets out there. Add some strings and grip tape, and it clocks in at just around 330 grams. Now, with an extra 5 grams slapped on, this bad boy is about to give him a power boost straight out of a superhero origin story. Here's the deal, with such a featherweight racket, Carlitos has to do all the heavy lifting, literally. Generating spin, power, and precision comes down to his forearm doing the work of a damn jackhammer. But those magical 5 grams?
Game changer.
For the Australian Open, they'll elevate his offensive game to a whole new level. These tiny strips of lead are strategically placed on the inside of the racket, like tiny weights on a clock face. Imagine looking at it like it's a clock. They can go at 12, 3, 6, or 9 o'clock, depending on what the player wants to tweak. In Carlitos' case, the balance is set at 32, which means most of the weight sits in the neck and lower part of the racket. Why? So he can close out points like a boss at the net or rip shots from the baseline that leave his rivals gasping for air. But let's not kid ourselves, this isn't just some add weight and win cheat code. This upgrade is like giving a sports car a turbocharger. It takes skill to control, or you're crashing into a wall. Carlitos is going to spend hours on the court, getting used to this setup. The added weight changes the way the ball feels on the strings, and if he doesn't consistently hit that sweet spot, balls are flying out of bounds like they've got somewhere else to be. The trade-off is real. More power means less control. But if there's anyone who can handle it, it's Carlitos. His team, now bolstered by Samu Lopez, believes he's got the precision and adaptability to make this work. This little tweak could unleash the most aggressive version of Alcaraz we've ever seen. And let's not forget what's at stake here. Carlitos isn't just gunning for another trophy. He's on a mission to become the youngest player ever to complete a career Grand Slam. That's tennis royalty shit right there. Come January 4th, he'll be flying to Melbourne to kick off this ambitious quest, and all eyes will be on him to see if he can pull it off. Meanwhile, in the land of tennis drama, Nick Kyrgios is up to his usual antics, stirring the pot like a master chef of chaos.
His latest?
A cheeky montage comparing Jannik Sinner to the freaking Grinch. Of course, this didn't slide under the radar. Fans of both players flooded social media with reactions ranging from LOL to full-on WTF, Nick? Some saw it as harmless banter, classic Kyrgios-style shenanigans.
Others? Not so much.
Considering the Aussies' history of tension with Sinner, many took it as yet another jab in their ongoing frenemy saga. The post didn't just ignite a meme storm, it also sparked a debate about the boundaries of humor in sports. Should players be throwing shade for laughs, or does it cross the line into unsportsmanlike conduct? While Sinner kept it classy and didn't bother responding, the incident served as a reminder that in tennis, drama isn't just limited to the court. Whether you love him or hate him, Kyrgios knows how to keep the spotlight, and the comment section, lit. Sources close to Jannik Sinner claim the Italian took the whole debacle like a Zen monk on vacation, dodging the drama like a pro and focusing on his tennis grind instead of getting sucked into some petty bullshit. Meanwhile, Nick Kyrgios, aka the king of tennis chaos, couldn't care less about the backlash from his antics. The Aussie kept churning out his signature over-the-top social media posts as if the controversy didn't even exist.
Critics? Who gives a damn? Nick sure doesn't.
Some tennis analysts have raised their eyebrows, suggesting Kyrgios might actually be playing 4D chess with this nonsense. Could it be a sneaky mind game to mess with Sinner's head? After all, Kyrgios has a history of rattling his opponents before they even step on the court. With Christmas lights twinkling and the festive season kicking in, only time will tell if this blows over as another silly episode in tennis gossip history or if it evolves into a full-blown soap opera between these two.
But oh boy, that's not all.
The plot thickens when we talk about Kyrgios calling out Sinner and his team over a doping scandal. Nick didn't mince his words, going full savage and dubbing anyone defending the Italian as a potato.
Yep, you heard that right. A freaking potato.
Classic Nick. Here's the tea. The controversy exploded when it came out that Jannik's physio, Giacomo Naldi, had used a spray tainted with clostebol, a banned substance, on himself before giving Sinner a massage. And guess what? He wasn't even wearing gloves.
Way to go, genius.
Apparently, the spray was bought by Sinner's trainer, Umberto Ferrara, who's now neck-deep in this mess too. The unintended result? Sinner got caught in a doping violation back in March. Cue the scandal of the year. Naturally, this revelation unleashed a storm of criticism, with Naldi and Ferrara taking most of the heat. Some fans and pundits didn't hold back, branding them as the villains who threw their two-time Grand Slam champ into the doping spotlight. Talk about a plot twist no one saw coming. Meanwhile, Nick being Nick, isn't letting this die down quietly. Whether it's righteous indignation or just his love for stirring shit up, he's keeping the drama alive. But love him or hate him, you can't deny Kyrgios knows how to keep things entertaining in a sport that sometimes takes itself way too seriously.
So, what's next?
Will this drama fade into the background of holiday cheers and New Year's resolutions? Or is this just the beginning of another spicy chapter in tennis lore? Either way, with Kyrgios involved, we're strapped in for a wild ride. Oh, and if you've enjoyed this juicy rundown, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. At Tennis Extra, we're all about delivering the hottest takes, in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and wall-to-wall coverage of everything tennis. Join our community, and let's keep the excitement rolling, because the world of tennis never runs out of drama, strategy, and unforgettable moments.